So I want to show you something else here too. So Jeff Meldrum's doing a lot of talking about Patty here. But David Pilates, he did some Bigfoot videos, and he's saying that he thinks this is the hair is tied back in a ponytail in the back, and it looks a lot like it here. Although these, when they're put in a book like this, you can't see them as good. But he went through here. Jeff Meldrum went through and talked about the Patterson-Gimlin patty a lot here. And this is Roger Patterson with a couple of the footprints that they casted. But I wanted to show you this too because there's two of the footprints. So after they casted that and they went to town and they were showing it and they got some of these people together, Bob Titmus went back out and searched the Bluff Creek, and on the second day he found the footprints where they where Patty was, where they filmed Patty, and he found the footprints and he followed the footprints, and he said there was a lot of footprints that he followed, and they were making all kinds of different shapes, where the toes were splaying and the toes were moving sand or dirt, and they were going in different depths sometimes depending on the ground. And he followed it up into the mountain, and he actually found where Patty sat down in some ferns and was watching Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. He was out there watching them filming, or she was watching them filming her. And this is Bob Titmus. He was a taxidermist, and he had actually went to Bluff Creek when Jerry Crew had that footprint, and they first started calling it Bigfoot. So he went up there into the mountains and found footprints and casted them when Jerry Crew had that one. And then he also did with Patty. He went up to the mountains there and up into Bluff Creek and followed Patty's footprints, and he casted the best 10 of the footprints. Bob Titmus has 10 really good casts of Patty. Alright, so this is something I didn't know. So this was John Green. John Green filmed. He's 6 foot, 5.5 inches tall. Jim McLaren retracing the path walked by the film subject, Patty. And then John Green filmed him walking and then superimposed it beside Patty to get comparisons. So you could see Patty was just a little taller and was a lot thicker. So I didn't know they did this. And he wasn't the only one. But look, here's another one. This was from Martin and Eric DeHenden. And so this was actually Peter Byron. Peter Byron. He was director of Bigfoot Research Project. So he photographed a model holding a graduated staff, holding it exactly where Patty had stood. So this was the model, was Michael Hodgson. He was 6 foot tall and 150 pounds. And then they had Jeff Glickman, a certified forensic examiner. He superimposed the photo. So this was Michael Hodgson, and the Glickman, he superimposed the photo to line up and match up exactly, the forensic artist, to match up with Patty. So he was 6 foot tall, 150 pounds. So you can see that you can see the difference between Patty and him. So they did something I've been doing. I've been going back to places where I've been filming, and I've been doing the same thing myself. I got quite a few of my videos where I've done the same exact thing. I've gone back to the same spot and filmed myself there, and got comparisons and size comparisons just like this. So I didn't know they did this with Patty. So I wanted to share this with y'all. I wasn't going to read all through all of this, but I wanted to show this to you and tell you who it was that did it and what they were doing. So not only did these two different people do this with the model and compared it and got comparisons, size comparisons of a human to Patty, exactly where she was, but also that I'm sorry, Bob Titmus. Bob Titmus went back here. He found the actual footprints from Patty, and he found where Roger was standing when he filmed her, and he followed the footprints and he cast 10 of them, 10 of the best ones, and then he followed it up into the mountains and found a spot where Patty had sat down and was watching Patterson-Gimlin. Because he was a tracker and a taxidermist and a hunter. So that was really cool right there to learn all that. And like I said, that was Bob Titmus here, and that's the 10 footprints of Patty that he found, and he casted the best 10. And like I said, he followed her up into the mountain where she had gone and had sat there and watched Bob and Roger and Bob do that, filming her and looking for tracks and all. So it's pretty cool. So I wanted to share this with y'all, as they were doing the same thing here that I do with my filming. I have never heard of this before. I never heard that they did this. So that was really cool. Two different people did that. The Peter Byron and John Green. Alright, so there's some truth and knowledge for you. I wanted to share that with you from Dr. Jeff Meldrum's book here. So I do a lot of reading. And I like sharing these. I like sharing some of this stuff with y'all. So it's really cool. They've done a lot of in this book. They've done a lot of analysis on Patty. It's really cool. So they really did a lot of analysis on her in this. So these are the footprints that were cast by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. Alright, so these are the two footprints that were cast by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. 14.5-inch footprints from Patty. These are the two that they casted. So a copy of one of these is at Ripley's right there beside our stuff, beside my stuff and Kathy's stuff. I think that's really cool. And Ripley's has Kathy's handprint, and they're putting it in their Tennessee Ripley's